Meet Vaani Batra, a shy, plain, yet talented writer. With a smile and her dreams-filled eyes, she's preparing for what she thinks will be the happiest day of her life. She is in court waiting for her childhood love Mahesh, so they can finally make their marriage official. But yeah, Mahesh doesn't show up. In a stunning twist, he leaves her for another woman to secure his own financial stability and respectability. While yes, Vaani is left standing stunned, her world shattered into fragments. That one act of betrayal destroys her entire universe. Well, she further distances herself from everyone, even stops writing and sinks into isolation. Her vibrant energy fades away totally. During such hard times, her family steps in. Hama reminds her of all the good life has to offer while crying with her, which gives Vaani courage to try and move forward, if it's even for her caring family's sake. One day, while her father was driving her for a job interview, her attention goes towards a guy riding a bike. On her way to the interview, while tying her shoes, she comes across the guy again, and in a hurry she leaves and forgets her diary behind, which later is picked up by the guy. Her interview goes well and she is hired on a trial basis where she had to go interview famous people, to which she accepts. While leaving, she comes across the guy again, who gives her diary back and goes on to beat up her new while calling him corrupt media and leaves his name behind.
Krish Kapoor.
On his way out, he looks at Vaani and compliments her writing, then leaves.
Meet Krish Kapoor. As opposed to Vaani, Krish's struggles started years ago. He is a struggling musician, bearing wounds of a dysfunctional childhood. His mother died young and his dad, an addict, was not the support he could count on. This anger made him hot-headed, restless and stubborn, but also gave him raw intensity in music. But the industry kept rejecting him. Record companies laugh at his anger, labeling him unmarketable. So he quit his band to go solo. Eventually one day he's offered to work with the famous singer, Prince, but manager puts up a term that he'll not get any credits for the song. At first he denies, but then he spots Vaani struggling for an interview with Prince for a new job. So he accepts to work with the singer just so he can help Vaani get the interview. But Vaani completely ignores him and goes on for the interview and gets rejected. Meanwhile, Krish starts singing a song from Vaani's diary, which really impresses Prince. But the song is incomplete, so Prince organizes Vaani and Krish working together to make him a new song. So they get to work. Initially, Vaani is shy, nearly delicate, struggling to write a song in a professional recording studio, whereas Krish is irritable. They start arguing about how it's not possible to write a song in profession studio. She tells him how good songs carry memories of moments, happiness, love, friendship, and even hurt. Those songs have the power to make us time travel back to any part of our life like childhood, first love, and such songs cannot be written in closed, stressful places. Meanwhile, Krish recognizes the passion of writing poems in her eyes, which makes him calm down. Here the journey starts. Vaani remains aloof, nursing the bruises of Mahesh's betrayal, while Krish is restless and hot-headed. But with days becoming nights of brainstorming and jam sessions, something shifts. Vaani gradually opens up, finding her voice as a writer again. Krish too finds himself relaxing in her presence, shedding his anger a little at a time. Their relationship develops gradually. Small things like a late-night coffee after a recording session or a passing glance during a concert rehearsal start to knit them together. One day during a recording session, Prince finds their song really good, but the manager asks them to add more hype and in return Krish will get credited, to which he agrees. Then soon after, a police come in looking for Krish. Turns out his drunk father got into a fight again for the 4th time, and this is the last warning while asking Krish to take his father home and look after him. Krish loses it and starts overpowering his dad, reminding of his neglect towards his son. He even goes as far as asking him to die because no one will care and walks away, while Vaani stands still, realizing Krish's anger and pain. She follows him and for the first time she opens up about her past. She tells him about how she was betrayed and she even gave up writing, which she loved the most, but after meeting Krish, she found joy again in writing. He truly helped her get over her past and she wants him to get over his past too. She adds that she wants him to be happy too, and tells him clearly that if he needs her, she's there for him. Krish, taking a pause of silence, says,
Vaani, help me.
She takes him to check up on his father, who is again found drinking and fighting.
Krish hurries to help his father while Vaani just stares at Krish with sadness in her eyes. They take him to a rehabilitation center only to find out their services are very expensive. They meet up with Prince's manager, so Krish decides to sell his rights to the song for money while Vaani stares at him knowing how hard it must be for him. On their way back to her home, Krish holds her hand and tells her, since this song deal is over, this is the last time he gets to see her. He adds that she's got exclusive interview from Prince which made her job permanent and he got the money for his dad's medical expenses, so everyone's happy. Then goes on saying happiness doesn't last long with him, and after a while he lets her hand go and leaves. Soon after, they come across each other again during a concert. The crowd pushes them close to each other as if the universe itself was working overtime for them to meet again. But this time, they both finally confess their love for each other. Here, their second journey starts. They have a romantic evening, and on the next day, Vaani takes Krish back to his old band who accept him with open arms. From then on, these two lovebirds become inseparable. Vaani was always there for Krish, which made him be the best of himself. One evening, while dropping her back home, Vaani's parents find out their daughter is in a relationship again. Her mom, in concern, starts freaking out and recalling the past. Then suddenly, Vaani falls to the ground. While checkups are going on in the hospital, Vaani's mother approaches Krish and asks him whether he will marry her, and if not, then asks him to leave her and walks away. Inside the room, the first thing Krish asks Vaani is to marry him, to which Vaani says that we can get married today or tomorrow, and even no marriage, then there be no regret, but if he gives up on his dream of becoming a superstar for her, then she will regret whole life. She urges him to shoot a music video he was offered for one of his songs, leaving him no choice but to agree. He travels to a different state for recording, and surprisingly, he finds a crowd waiting for him. Turns out his song went viral, gaining millions of views and a sudden popularity. Meanwhile, Vaani gets a health checkup results. The diagnosis: early onset Alzheimer's. The doctor gently explains there's a 0.4% chance for happening, and slow she will start forgetting everything and everyone, even family, friends and love. Her past memories will feel like present, and in the confusion she might get violent episodes. The doctor adds there's treatment to slow it down but not stop this sickness. She advises her to share this information with close ones for support. On her way back home, while thinking about what just happened, a familiar sound calls for her. Krish calls out to her asking why she has been ignoring him while he was away on tour for 2 days. She tries to talk, but Krish starts telling her how record labels are now lining up to sign him. He already had everything he ever wanted, but he was never happy because Vaani was not there with him. Vaani tried to talk again, and Krish adds he knows he has a good voice, but as a person he was wrong and stupid. All he had was anger and complaints to the world. Now everyone only sees his talent, but she saw his flaws and still accepted him. He further adds he is not letting her go, not now, not forever. Even though he had no idea about Vaani's condition he said what Vaani really needed to hear, including
I love you. Forever and ever and ever and ever.
Next day on her way to work, her dad asks her about the medical results. She pretends she forgot to go and hides her condition from him. At work, everyone celebrates her and she receives a huge surprise. The bad kind, her ex, Mahesh. He starts off by congratulating her for all her success and invites Vaani for a corporate party. At Krish's home, Vaani plans to quit her job and starts packing his clothes for his store. Krish stops her saying she already packed for him. He gets concerned and asks her if she's fine, and Vaani again hides the condition from him by making up some silly reason to relieve his worries. She walks him to his car for his tour, and after the car leaves, she suddenly finds herself in the party, not remembering anything that happened in between. Mahesh approaches her and offers a drink. In their conversation, he starts to flirt with her and starts talking about the old days, which makes Vaani nervous and confused, triggering her condition. She starts taking back, reminding Mahesh they're getting married soon, as if she doesn't remember the betrayal from him until his wife shows, and which makes Vaani realize she had an early onset Alzheimer's episode.
Upon realization, she runs out, leaving her backpack behind. Krish tries to call her multiple times but is answered by a worker of the club. Upon hearing what had happened, Krish gave up on his store and hurried towards the club. There he finds a backpack which had her medical report. Later he finds her in one of their spots. She figures out Krish knows about her condition and gets into an argument trying to convince him of breaking up, but Krish stood strong, not giving up on their love. Next day, Vaani visits the doctor with her family. The doc recommends her to take a trip where it's quiet and peaceful. Her mom suggests her aunt's place in a different city and argues that she will go with her. At end, Vaani ends up going with Krish because her young little brother also needs attention. During their departure, Vaani's mom finally shows some love towards Krish. They end up in Goa where they spend their days together. He cooks and she eats, you know how that goes. They sing, they dance and have fun while Krish making sure Vaani is getting her medications. They are now in their own happy world until one day, Vaani catches Krish talking on the phone with his friend about selling his rights to his songs for money, which he is in desperate need of. Later, Vaani asks him not to do it and to continue with his tour. She tells him about Saiyaara, a lost star amongst the stars who's always moving to find something. Even though the star is all alone, but it brightens everyone around him, further saying it's him. He is her Saiyaara. She adds that one day she might forget everything, but when she look up at the night sky, she will remember her Saiyaara. She'll remember him. Her words give him strength and Krish decides to carry on with his tour. In the following days, Vaani tags along with Krish to one of his concerts. She is enjoying with the band, hyping them up for their upcoming performance, overjoyed with pride of her love. Vaani even invites his dad for the show, which makes Krish very emotional and he thanks for all the good she brings to his life. To which she replies by saying, "I love you." While Krish goes on stage to perform, disaster occurs in the name of Mahesh, her ex, is back again. While he comes in talks to Vaani, her early onset Alzheimer's takes over and she confuses him for Krish. Meanwhile, Krish on stage looking for Vaani amongst the crowd realizes something is wrong, so he goes looking for her. In shock, he finds her on Mahesh's lap. At first he stays calm and says, "Let's go home, Vaani," but Mahesh asks him to leave multiple times, then suddenly he picks up a knife and charges towards Krish. Well, Krish retaliates by giving Mahesh a good beatdown, and suddenly he finds Vaani holding the knife and pointing it towards him. With tears in his eyes and ignoring her warning, he moves towards Mahesh for round 2, but then she stabs him on his arm. I have no other way to describe what happens next, but I can tell you this gave me emotions I have not had for a long time. Anyways, Mahesh panics and runs out while Vaani tries to chase him. Krish holds her tight and doesn't let go. Then soon she faints in his arms due to her violent episode. He brings her home and settles her down, then goes to bandage his arm wound. His father talks to him after a long time and helps him. He apologizes for making a huge mistake by leaving him, and instead of holding his hand after Krish's mom's passing, he chose liquor. He advises Krish not to do the same mistake he did and asks him not to destroy himself because of love. Krish took all of this, like all of it, and went to his studio. Night turned to day, then he was greeted by Vaani. She has no memory of the recent events, while Krish pretends like nothing had happened and they get to talking. Krish tells his life story pretending to be his friend's story and asks how to help his friend. Vaani tells him to ask his friend to make a song for his girlfriend and then to tell her that this is for you. She adds when the song will touch her heart, then no matter where she is, she will come running back to his friend. With everything that has happened, it's an emotional moment. Krish tried to leave, but Vaani holds him back and tell him, "I still have some moments left with you. And in this moment, today, tomorrow, forever, I love you, Mahesh." Yeah, you hear that right, Mahesh. Krish responds by bowing down to kiss her head, and with a smile, he leaves. But yeah, he is hurt.
Krish meets up with his band and announces he's quitting the band, but his friends all try to convince him of not quitting and to fulfill his dream of becoming a superstar and being loved by all his fans. Krish tells them that all of them worked way too hard and they should continue the tour without him and leaves. When Krish reaches home, Vaani is nowhere to be seen. Yeah, she just vanished. He looks all around, then with her parents they go to the police and even higher authority. Her parents are devastated while he wants out in anger all the way to his studio and starts venting. Thankfully, before things got out of hands, he finds Vaani's diary with the lyrics for a song she had written for his friend's girlfriend, and that was it. He rushed to his friend's studio, pleading them to let him make a song from what Vaani wrote, and goes on by saying, "When this song will reach Vaani, she will remember me and come back to me." His kind friends have nothing but to love and support him with all their hearts. Now we go to 1 year later. In a concert, there's a huge crowd gathered chanting a name. Krish. Yeah, he's big celebrity now, just like Vaani wanted. Feels good to see he worked hard in this 1 year. He gets on stage and delivers a song which won't be forgotten for a long time. The crowd is going crazy, everyone is enjoying and even finishing his songs for him. Yeah, love to see it. He now even does international tours, and that's how he finds her. Well, not yet. One day in London, during a routine sound check for a concert, they come across clips of people singing their song through social media. One clip catches his friend's attention and reveals to Krish. Upon further looking in, they find it's Vaani with tears in her eyes while listening to the song which was sung by someone else in the clip. Immediately, Krish leaves for the clip's location while his friends manage his travel, stay, etc. I gotta say, everyone needs such supporting friends. After reaching the location, he asks the locals around, and with the help of a picture, it didn't take much time till he ends up in a hostel. There, a warden recognizes her and hands over a letter from Vaani. Inside the letter, Vaani had written about how she had found the video in her phone of that concert when she stabbed him and other events. She explains how bad it hurt and broke her heart every time she remembered the lost memories like a flashback. Her biggest regret will forever be of not being together with him, but then she knew it will be the reason for his success to stardom. That's why she ran away from him, from everyone. The letter updates him of a condition. It's gotten worse. She hardly remembers anything now, but sometimes when she hears their song, she remembers two moments they had together. The warden opens a door leading out, and Vaani is there with a diary trying to write something. They look at each other, Krish with a smile, while Vaani is completely clueless. She introduces herself as Vaani and goes back to writing. Krish sits next to her with silence in the air. Then finally he introduces himself as a musician and asks Vaani to help him write a song. He recreates a moment when he first fell for her. Vaani still remained clueless, so he takes her out for recreate a different moment they shared together. Eventually, Vaani remained silent, but he kept going with the faith that Vaani still remembers him, and it works out. She speaks out his name. While Krish is relieved with tears in his eyes, she runs to him and they both hug each other tightly as if they don't want to let go of each other anymore. Sometime later, we see a house wall with various charts. Then there is Vaani starting her day by going through a photo album, remembering her marriage with Krish, and at night Krish comes back home and they go to sleep in each other's arms. Now, subscribe